the battle legend, Iron Solomon, in the building. I must say your album, again, is getting very great reviews and it's known all over. But as we were just talking about behind the scenes, because you were, because we all know Fight Club is pretty much done. That was the last of the battle era, grind time. Not that it's done, but now there's no more divisions. It's gone. It's all now under one now. Shout out to Poison Pen TV, and now linking up with URL. They're now working together. Now, being that you were in the battle circuit for so long, and as we all said, you have a dope album, did you find it difficult to make a dope album, being that you were in battling? Because a lot of these guys, as we've established, who battle, can't make an album.
I think, honestly, I think the thing, like, there's two big things that stop people from being able to make a dope album when they're really good at battle rapping. You know, it's like somebody that's used to a one-night stand versus trying to be in a relationship, you know? Because a one-night stand, you get such instant gratification, and when you step into a battle and you say one punchline and the crowd goes crazy, you know, that's not real. Like, that's a one-night stand. You got the girl right away. It was easy. And when you go in the studio, sometimes, you know, you have to write for days, weeks. You might write for months and not come up with a song that creates the same reaction as one punchline in one battle. So anybody that tries to spend, you know, is used to having one punchline lead to the type of reaction they want, and now you try to spend weeks and months to get the same thing, like, you're going to go back to the jump off, you know? So when you're trying to put in work in a relationship and it's been a couple weeks and you haven't gone to bed with this chick, like, you're going to slide back to the slide off.
First things first, people, and to add to that, always pack it up, be safe, strap it on, number one, and number two, hey, you can always get that victory. If you play your cards right, hang in there. You can get that you can get that victory quick if you hang in there. It's just like a dude telling his friend, like, yo, all you got to do, say yes to her.
Right.
Say yes.
Right.
That's it.
And you know, and I think that the other thing is, like, that honestly, sometimes you get the false impression that you're a great MC because you won a lot of battles, and that just means you're great at one piece of what it means to be an MC. And when you go in the studio feeling like you're already the best MC, you're just never going to ever be good at that because you haven't practiced being in the studio, you practice battling, you know? So any situation in life that you go into feeling like, oh, I'm great at this, you're like, I'm great at doing a radio show, you're never going to figure out what can be better. So you're going to go to the studio and every single time think that it's great, and it's not going to be, you know?
Also, and so now, with all that, because I mentioned the whole Fight Club and the battling scene, back when Fight Club was around, a lot of times guys were freestyling off the top. And I know you were known for doing both, but when grind time came around, they're the ones who said that guys could write their rhymes. And they made it more theatrical. Grind time, I think, brought that out, in my opinion. Because in Fight Club, it was more like, dudes were doing it theatrical with the battles, but you were like the beginning piece of that, because when Fight Club was dying out, grind time was coming up. You understand what I'm saying? So how do you feel about the written rhymes as to years ago everybody was freestyling? Do you think that matters, or...
You know, to me, like, the thing is that for a while, like, the freestyle stuff was coexisting with the written, because even at Fight Club or on Smack, you know, a lot of those battles were just guys coming with verses they already had prepared, and they didn't even know who they were going to battle, and they would just spit their verse, you know, a million bars, whatever, until the clock stopped. And to me, it's more about the situation and the crowd and being adaptable as an MC, because I've seen a written rhyme destroy a freestyle, and I've seen a freestyle destroy a written rhyme. So I don't think that the two have to be mutually exclusive or that one is superior to the other. But if you step in front of a crowd and you're like, oh, I know that if I just spit something off the top right now and talk about this guy's shoes, like, I'm going to murder him, you know? Or if you're like, oh, I got this rhyme in my pocket that I'm going to just pull out at this right moment, like, there's something about that is kind of freestyle too. Because even in the 90s when, you know, like Bragging Rights and 88 Hip Hop and all these battles that are really kind of like the pinnacle of the, like, freestyle era.
Blaze battles.
You know, Blaze battles, right. So, like, a lot of these guys would still have one, you know, a punchline or a couplet that you would hear them say over and over again. And it's like, I heard you say that last month, but nobody was really taking issue with that. It was more about, all right, you have your arsenal of weapons, you have your punchlines you have in the pocket, but I can tell that you're putting it all together on the spot and you're linking it up with something that's spontaneous. So to me, to be honest, I don't really care as long as it's dope, you know? Like, sometimes a freestyle in the middle of a battle, even these days when you can tell somebody's rebuttaling, like, that can be crazy exciting and dope, or it can just be whack. And then they probably shouldn't have just gone with their writtens, you know what I mean?
Well, are there any artists out there that you're feeling right now in the battle circuit or music-wise that are newcomers?
There's a lot of newcomers that I really like. Like Kendrick Lamar is like one of my favorite new artists.
West Coast.
Yeah, Big Crit I think is incredible. Schoolboy Q I'm getting up on. You know, ASAP Rocky, Machine Gun Kelly. Like a lot of the new guys I think are really dope. You know?
I know, being that you're the first generation of the longest running open mic in New York City, EO Dub. Do you think that being there, going to the open mics and seeing the MC challenges, that helped you in the battle circuit and develop as an MC?
Definitely, big time. EO Dub is like a huge part of my pedigree as an MC. You know, just being around all the guys that you know were able to take hip hop to a different place, and having the experience to be on stage and watching them run that show every single Sunday night. Definitely taught me a lot about being on stage and interacting with the crowd. And actually, I have to do a shameless plug right now because the MC Challenge is coming up on the 29th at the Pyramid, and they need contestants.
Okay.
So hit them, you know, probably could holler at you or holler at, you know, I think it's EOWNYC on Twitter. So any MC that's trying to, you know, just have their skills put to the test in a more well-rounded, multifaceted way, hit at EOWNYC. And I think it's the 29th at the Pyramid.
April 29th, okay.
Yeah.
So now, and I know you said you gotten a chance to go to Europe and see the hip-hop culture over there. And from what I understand, you've seen the MC challenges in different countries and different languages. How the way they embrace the culture over there to how we embraced over here? Is it on a bigger scale? Or how is...
You know, I think outside of New York and the tri-state area, and then even further, like abroad, they don't take it, not that we take it for granted, but it's like you wake up and you put your hat on a certain way, and that's just the way you wear your hat. But what you don't realize is that's hip-hop, and that's a culture that's unique and different, and it's not something that people in Germany wake up and do naturally. You know, their lifestyle and the things that they go through and the sights that they've grown up seeing are totally different. So I think for them, it's not like they're objectifying it, but it's like, it's foreign. It is literally foreign to them, you know, and they've had to adopt it. And the way that we walk and the way that we talk is like so second nature to us that overseas they it's more important to them. It seems more important to them because they don't get it every day the way that we get it every day.
So, are you signed to any label yet, or how was the album distributed?
We had a distribution deal for the Monster album, but it's just a one-off deal. I'm not at the moment trying to have any strings attached particularly, but I'm open to anything. More important than the partnership to me is like my ability to release music the way that I want to on the schedule that I want to, because you know I have a particular vision, and I don't want my business relationships to get in the way of that. So at the moment I'm looking for partnerships that make sense, and you know just trying to keep it moving and develop my following the way that I do it. You know.
Well, so I want to say thank you for coming through. You're going to stick around and do a freestyle for us?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to say thank you for coming through. And don't
My
be a
pleasure.
stranger. No, when the mixtape comes back out, come on through.
Yeah,
and
now that I know how to get here, it'll take me half the time.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Iron Sound was in the building. I want to say he's going to stick around and do a freestyle for us. Let's get into another joint off the album. What's another track you want to get into right now?
I think that one that's playing is probably pretty good. Let's see what it is.
Number 7. Want to get into it?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, WKNJ 90.3 FM, livestream.com /ER2 The Streets. Here we go.